Don in London. Hello. March 25th, 2010. Another rainy day here in London. It seems sometimes like spring is here and the sun is out, but of course March is a rainy month. Well, less rain in my heart these days. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance, well, alcohol, and my behaviour, equally addictive. Work, relationships, materialism, collecting, trying to fix myself in some way. I didn't even know what I was trying to fix. That for many years there was a feeling of not being quite right with the world, and having an anxiety or fear at the back of it. And I realised when I got sober that the fear was always about being less than or not good enough to be a part of what was going on. And it was a confusion on my part that the great big gap we have inside us when we first start living is about filling it with good things: wisdom, experience, strength, hope, all the stuff of life which makes life work on a daily basis. And, you know, to find myself as an addict, close to 50 years old, wondering where the rest of my life might go, and actually for a long time just simply not wanting to wake up and greet the day, not wanting to wake up at all, hoping that the oblivion that I saw the day before, or the night before, or whatever time of day it was, would send me off into a sleep where I wouldn't wake up. And that was following, or after rather, a nervous breakdown. But for years and years and years I'd striven to find some sort of life happiness, and I'd failed abysmally in my own way, because I was always striving for perfection and never really enjoying the moment of now. So what's making it work today? Well, living in the moment of now, understanding it can be happy or sad as life experience affords. So I'm not trying to push myself into being anything or trying to be something that I think I ought to be. I'm simply striving to be me. And there is much more happiness in doing that and learning life as we go. So addiction, 35 years of drinking. I don't know when I crossed the line into being an addict. Probably when I took the first drink, when it changed my feelings. But in terms of complete addiction, physically and mentally, probably around about 2003, something like that. But before all the signs were there, all the signs of unhappiness, fearing life, putting on a brave face, and having a very brittle ego to keep me going. So these days I try not to do that, and what helps me is family, community, professionals to keep me well physically and emotionally, and having a moment of clarity where I realised I could not get well on my own, that no amount of self-will, self-determination would work, because it turned into self-obsession, failure, and more oblivion in any shape or form I could get. So for me it was alcohol. I never got to illegal drug taking, but you know what? I guess that was just around the corner. Anything to fix that horror of living. So these days I don't feel so horrible, and life works. So the key, if you like, to opening the door to sobriety turned out to be a fellowship, and that fellowship is AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. So it's a place which I can call home. I can go anywhere in the world to any room of AA and listen to people. Even if I don't speak the language, I will have an understanding of what is going on. People sharing their experience, strength and hope of being sober today, one day. So AA, I don't speak for it, never can, never will, not intending to. But if I were to leave out the story of AA as part of my recovery, that would be a bit of an ego trip and suggest I could do it on my own, and I can't. So I share about AA, and I share the statement of intent, which is what AA is, also called the AA preamble, which is said at the beginning of every meeting, and then a bit of the literature of AA, just to do a mini meeting, if you like, online. So if a person can't get to a meeting, there is one there. Or if a person is wondering what is AA all about, are they all mad, are they all dogmatic and occult? And the answer is no. We're unique, authentic people on a unique, authentic journey, and we have one similarity, and this is what it says in the statement of intent. And here it goes. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And that's on this little card here. Freely available at any AA meeting, well, for about 20p, or free if you're a newcomer. And the principles are, we go there to be sober. We remain unique, authentic. We all have our belief systems, our outlooks on life, and those don't change unless we change them. And they don't change into some sort of AA amalgam. We just change how we are on a daily basis, being sober, finding wisdom, and finding out what we can and cannot do to make life work, or live life so it works. So, having said that, there are 12 steps in the action program. It's all about taking action to change our attitude and behaviour. And this book, Daily Reflections, covers a step a month. So 12 steps in 12 months. And why did it take 12 months to go through it? Well, the simple answer is, once we understand the steps of AA, 12 steps of action to change attitude and behaviour, we use them every single day in our life experience to shape what we do next, to make free choices without having to lean on something to fix ourselves. So step 3 in March is all about letting go old attitudes and behaviour and letting in new opportunities to change. And it's called Let Go and Let Good Conscience, or Let Go and Let God, or whatever it is, according to your faith belief system. So letting go and letting good is what it's all about. So for March 25th in this book, we do 1 page a day. It says this: a full and thankful heart. I try hard to hold fast to the truth that a full and thankful heart cannot entertain great conceits, in other words, ego. When brimming with gratitude, one's heartbeat must surely result in outgoing love, the finest emotion that we can ever know. And whoever thought we would talk about love as being important to us in our whole living experience, when we're all burned up with other things? I believe that we in Alcoholics Anonymous are fortunate in that we are constantly reminded of the need to be grateful and how important gratitude is to our sobriety. I am truly grateful for the sobriety God has given me through the AA program, and I am glad to give it back what has been given to me freely. I am grateful for not only sobriety, but for the quality of life my sobriety has brought. God has been gracious enough to give me sober days, and a life blessed with peace and contentment, as well as the ability to give and receive love, and the opportunity to serve others in our fellowship, my family and my community. For all of this, I have a full and thankful heart. And when it talks about God, for me, God is truth, God is love, and God works through people. So, for me, what's important in life is to love, be loved, and useful. And as we come to understand what is important to us, loving, being loved back, and useful, the word God starts to be less fearful for those of us who were atheist or agnostic, and understand that the concept of God of our understanding, our own understanding, is what works for us. So letting go and letting good conscience, letting go and letting God. If God is truth, love, and works through people, what are we complaining about? What are we fighting against? We're fighting against our own self-will, which drove us to obsession and tipped us into addiction. So the gift these days is not to be tipped into addiction again. So at the end of these videos, when I say the serenity prayer to God or good conscience, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It is just for today.